The race for Rookie of the Year is over. After what they did to the Sky, after they won their fourth straight, after they're over 500, they were just 500 the other day for the first time in 2 years when they were 2-2.
The rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, which had fans buzzing all season, just hit a major speed bump. One season is over while the other is still going strong. But their reactions, that's where things get interesting. Reese is sidelined with a wrist injury while Clark continues to dominate on the court. A plot twist nobody saw coming. Here's the thing. This doesn't change anything in the Rookie of the Year race. Clark remains the undisputed frontrunner. Every night, we're witnessing history. The first rookie with not just one but 2 triple-doubles, most assists in a game with 19. And now she's closing in on the all-time assist record. Every time she breaks three-point records, it's insane. And soon, she'll add Rookie of the Year to that growing list.
And Caitlin Clark, last 12 games, 23.4 points or 47% shooting, second leading scorer in the entire WNBA, 10.6 assists for Caitlin Clark, leads the league. She's the league assist leader, okay? 9-3 since July 6th, third best record in the WNBA.
Now, Reese's injury isn't just about her. It's shaking up the Chicago Sky's playoff hopes, which are hanging by a thread. And let's be real, Reese hasn't exactly been a fan favorite, but nobody wants to see a player hurt. We're all hoping for a speedy recovery. But here's the twist. The details surrounding Reese's injury are wild, and Clark's reaction, it's going to make you rethink their entire rivalry. Trust me, you're not ready for what's coming next. What we're about to reveal will make you love Caitlin Clark even more. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing you more basketball content. The playoffs are coming. Can you feel the fever rising? It's coming in hot. Are you ready? Let's go.
She doesn't need sets run for her. She can create her own.
What a pass inside from Carter to Angel Reese, and she's got a chance at a three.
Remember that fall during the Sparks game? What seemed like a routine play quickly spiraled into something far more serious. Reese's wrist injury wasn't just a bad tumble. It was a moment that could have ended her career before it truly began. Fans and analysts alike were stunned as the news trickled out, revealing a harsh reality. Reese was facing a life-changing decision. This wasn't just a typical setback that sidelined a player for a few games or even a season. It was a career-altering moment that immediately became the talk of the league. Let's break down what really happened that night against the Los Angeles Sparks. Picture this. Reese is locked in, fiercely battling under the rim, going up for what should have been just another rebound in a high-stakes game. But in the blink of an eye, she loses her balance in midair and comes crashing down hard onto the court. It was one of those moments where time seems to slow down, and everyone in the arena collectively holds their breath. Sure, players fall all the time. They take hard hits, they get back up, and they keep pushing forward. But this was different. The second Reese hit the hardwood, everything changed. At first glance, it looked like a nasty fall, but nobody anticipated the full extent of the damage. Her wrist had taken the brunt of the impact, and although she tried to shake it off and power through the pain, it was clear something wasn't right. Trainers rushed over, the game paused, and the collective tension in the air was undeniable. Fans watching at home and in the stands waited anxiously for updates, not realizing that this could be the last time they'd see Reese on the court this season. But here's where things took an even more dramatic turn. After the game, Reese was rushed to the medical team, where the doctors dropped a bombshell that would send shockwaves through the entire league. They examined her wrist and quickly realized the injury was far worse than anyone had initially thought. It wasn't just a sprain or a minor fracture. No, this was the kind of injury that could haunt her for the rest of her career. The doctors laid out 2 options for Reese, and neither was good. Option 1. Skip surgery, play through the pain, and try to finish out the season. It sounds noble, right? Maybe even heroic. But here's the kicker. Choosing this option came with a terrifying risk. By opting to play on, Reese would risk developing arthritis in her wrist at just 22 years old. Imagine that minus 22, an age when most players are just starting to hit their stride, and she's facing the possibility of arthritis, a condition that would affect her not only as a player, but for the rest of her life. arthritis could mean constant pain, limited mobility, and a permanent question mark hanging over the future of her career. Option 2 wasn't much better. It involved undergoing surgery, which would effectively end her season right then and there. The surgery would give her a better chance of long-term recovery, but it also came with its own set of challenges. Missing the rest of the season meant watching from the sidelines as her team fought to stay in the playoff race. For a competitor like Reese, this was almost unthinkable. She was supposed to be the rising star, the player who helped turn things around for the Chicago Sky. Now she was faced with a choice that could define the rest of her career. Let's not forget what's at stake here. The Chicago Sky's playoff hopes are hanging by a thread, and losing Reese is a massive blow. But more than that, this injury has the potential to alter the entire trajectory of her career. Reese was just getting started, showing glimpses of the player she could become, one who could be a dominant force in the league for years to come. Now, all of that was in jeopardy. Would she risk it all to play through the pain, or would she take the safer route and hope for a full recovery next season? What makes this situation even more compelling is the timing. Just as Reese's season comes to a screeching halt, Caitlin Clark continues to dominate, strengthening her case for Rookie of the Year. The rivalry between these two has been one of the biggest storylines of the season, with fans and media outlets buzzing about who would come out on top. But now, with Reese sidelined, that conversation has shifted. Clark, who was already the frontrunner, is practically running unopposed for the Rookie of the Year title. And yet, despite all of this, the rivalry isn't over. In fact, it's taken on a whole new dimension. Reese's injury and how she chooses to respond to it will be a defining moment, not just for her, but for her entire career. And then there's Clark's reaction to it all. How will she respond, both as a player and as a competitor? Will she acknowledge the unfortunate twist of fate that has befallen her rival, or will she use this moment to further solidify her dominance in the league? Whatever happens next, it's clear that this isn't just a personal struggle for Reese. It's a turning point for the WNBA, a league that's been growing in prominence and attracting more attention than ever before. So, while Reese's future remains uncertain, one thing is clear. The next chapter of her career is going to be filled with challenges, and how she overcomes them will shape her legacy. And as for Clark, she's not slowing down. With every record she breaks and every game she dominates, she's inching closer to securing her spot, not only as Rookie of the Year, but as a future face of the league. What we're witnessing right now is more than just a rivalry or a few games that could determine an award. This is about how injuries, perseverance, and talent come together to shape the narrative of a sport. And Reese's injury, while a devastating blow, is just the latest twist in a season full of highs, lows, and unexpected turns. Maybe that's why Reese has already started her own podcast, but there's more to her story. She's now faced with a tough decision: go under the knife and kiss her rookie season goodbye. It's the ultimate rock and a hard place scenario. According to her doctors, the fracture is in one of the worst spots imaginable, where there's barely any blood flow, making healing a nightmare. And if she doesn't get it fixed properly, the bone could literally crack and shatter entirely. Reese didn't hold back when explaining just how serious the situation is. In her own words, "I could literally have arthritis at 22 years old. That wasn't an option." So now, Reese is staring down the reality of a hard cast for a month, followed by another 2 weeks in a soft cast before she can even begin rehab. It's a brutal timeline for anyone, but especially for a rookie who was just finding her rhythm in the league. Now let's shift gears and talk about what this means for the Chicago Sky's playoff hopes. With Reese out, their playoff dreams are hanging by a thread. The Sky haven't made significant improvements from last season, and losing a key player like Reese could be the tipping point. Only time will tell if her absence will help or hurt their chances. What's clear, though, is that with or without Reese, the Sky have struggled to elevate their game. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is having an absolutely dominant season. Injury or not, the Rookie of the Year race is essentially locked up. Clark has been putting up mind-blowing numbers for the Indiana Fever, breaking records left and right, setting her teammates up for success, and leading the team to the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. While Reese is dealing with this unfortunate setback, Clark is continuing to make headlines. She's transforming the Indiana Fever, and her impact on the WNBA is undeniable. Fans are witnessing history every time she steps onto the court. If you stuck around this long, we appreciate you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. We love bringing you content like this, and your support means everything. Now, back to the action.
Clark has been flat out elevated her level of play to a point. I understand Angel Reese has been doing a thing with the double-doubles, like 24 straight double-doubles and all of this. Major props to her, and she deserves, she's going to be number 2. But Caitlin Clark going to win Rookie of the Year.
The rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has been electric since their college days. From Reese's taunts to Clark's cool responses, every matchup has been a spectacle. Their intensity continued into the WNBA, with fans eagerly watching their every encounter. Then Reese's wrist injury hit, and the speculation began. How would Clark react? Would the rivalry intensify? Instead of taking advantage of Reese's setback, Clark responded with unexpected class. She offered nothing but genuine praise for Reese, acknowledging her talent and the loss her injury represents for the league. Clark's response was a refreshing display of sportsmanship. Rather than fueling the rivalry, she showed respect, emphasizing that the league is better with Reese in it. It's a reminder that while their rivalry is fierce, it's built on mutual respect. The WNBA and fans are eagerly anticipating Reese's return, knowing that when these two stars clash again, it will be even more thrilling.
It's obviously definitely sad anytime you see anybody go down with an injury, especially people that you came into this league with, whether it was Cam, whether it was Angel, and especially Angel. Like, you want to see her finish out this year. Obviously, she's had a historic year and she's done some incredible things.
That's not just polite talk. That's real recognition. But wait, there's more. Clark didn't stop there. She went on to say, Angel's impact on the game is undeniable. Her talent and drive have set a high bar, and I have immense respect for what she's achieved. I'm looking forward to competing against her again when she's back. She brings so much to the league, and it's just not the same without her. Clark's comments went beyond just acknowledging Reese's skill. They highlighted her respect for Reese's role in the league and her eagerness to face off against her once she's recovered. It's a testament to Clark's character and her appreciation for the competitive spirit that makes their rivalry so compelling.
Getting to play against her, like, her motor is up there, if not the best in the league. Like, she just doesn't stop working. So, congratulations to her. I thought she had a tremendous year. And I thought she came to the league and really did what she's done well her entire career as long as I've known her. So it's definitely devastating. That's never anything you want to see from a player.
What we're seeing isn't just respect. It's genuine admiration. Let's break it down. Clark isn't merely being kind. She's exemplifying true sportsmanship in a league where rivalries can be fierce and trash talk is commonplace. By taking the high road, Clark is making a noticeable impact. Her words aren't just good PR. They're highlighting a broader message. These two emerging stars aren't just competitors. They're pushing each other to new heights and elevating the game as a whole. Consider this. When was the last time a rivalry in women's basketball was this compelling? Clark's graceful handling of success and setbacks transcends basketball and speaks to leadership and setting a powerful example. She's demonstrating that you can be fiercely competitive on the court while showing compassion off it. That's the kind of role model the sport needs. So, what does this mean for the future? Clark remains the front-runner for Rookie of the Year, and that hasn't changed. However, the way she's handling the accolade is what people will remember. As for Reese, don't count her out. Setbacks are challenging, but if there's one thing we know about Angel Reese, it's that she doesn't shy away from a challenge. When she returns, expect her to be ready to go head-to-head with Clark. Looking at the Rookie of the Year race, it's clear Clark is making history night after night. Her performance speaks volumes. Consider the numbers. Clark is averaging an impressive 19 points per game, which is not just rookie level, but all-star caliber. In comparison, Reese is averaging 13.6 points per game. Clark is also leading the WNBA with 8.4 assists per game, while Reese is at 1.9. On the rebound front, Clark averages a historic 13.1 per game, leading the league. These stats demonstrate why Clark's performance is capturing attention across the league. Caitlin Clark has an impressive average of 5.8 rebounds per game, while Angel Reese is also performing well with 5.8 rebounds per game for their respective positions. But let's dive into efficiency. Clark's true shooting percentage is an impressive 59.1%, the second highest ever for a rookie, averaging at least 17 points per game. This means she's not just scoring, she's doing so with remarkable precision. In contrast, Reese's true shooting percentage is 46.4%. It's worth noting that forwards like Reese typically have higher shooting percentages because they take shots closer to the basket. However, given Reese's historically low success rate on layups and Clark's exceptional three-point shooting, Clark emerges as the more efficient scorer. But what happens in critical moments? Clark shines under pressure. She has recorded multiple games with 25 points and 10 assists, a feat no other player has achieved in a single season. In one of her standout performances, she scored a career-high 31 points and dished out 12 assists in her final game of the season against Angel Reese. That's clutch performance at its finest.